Welcome everybody, and today we will understand the concepts of GST. Now, very important things, I'll just start discussing with you and then let's dive into GST. First thing, CMA Ganesh Narvade, teaching from CMA study material to CMA students. Very important, because tomorrow when you write the exams, most of the questions will come from CMA study material or similar to CMA past exam questions. Now, if you practice from the notes which cover all CMA questions, then you will get the confidence and you will be able to complete the paper on time. But suppose you study from a teacher who actually teaches for CA and is selling the courses for CMA by teaching all CA problems. There you have to put again efforts to solve CMA problems. So here we have an advantage, complete English lectures, and secondly CMA study material, CMA RTP, MTP, all questions covered. So enjoy the benefit of the lectures and understanding each and every concept in a simplest way without wasting any time. We'll quickly cover each and everything, right? So let's understand now what is GST. But before understanding what is GST, I will tell you first what is tax. Now, tax is a compulsory payment which individuals, organizations make to the government. Now, why we make payment to government? Because we live in a country. Now, if we think about present times, our nation Bharat is there. There are a lot of enemies like Pakistan is there, China is there, and if you are weak, everybody is an enemy for you. So what happens is, to protect our country, military is required, defense systems are required. If you want to live in a civilized society, roads, bridges are required, medicine, hospitals are required. For all that needs, government needs money. Now you earn income, but that income is for you. But some part of it you pay to the government so that all these needs can be met. And that's why taxes are there. Now there are two types of taxes which we discussed, direct tax and indirect taxes. But if I ask you a simple question, which tax came first, direct tax or indirect tax? What came first? Tell me. If you take the history, the first type of tax was indirect tax. Think about the times of Chanakya. Think about the times of Raja Shriram. Think about Vedas and Upanishads time, Yajnavalkya Samhita. Everywhere you will get the reference of taxation. So it is something which Britishers introduced, it is something which the Western countries introduced and we adopted. Sorry boss, उनके दादा परदादा भी पैदा नहीं हुए ना तब हमारे पास टैक्सेशन सिस्टम था. And with a very noble intention, with a noble way, it was collected and the development was done. Now let's understand indirect tax is first, how that came into picture. With story let's understand. So what happened, I'll tell you what happened. That suppose India is a country, right? Now in this country somebody from Afghanistan wants to come and do the trade, want to sell certain goods, he wants to bring it from Afghanistan. अरे राइफल बंदूक की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ रे बाबा, right? I am simply talking about he want to sell suppose some kaju, badam, pista, something like that, right? He wanted to sell in India. Will our country agree? हाँ ठीक है, you come and sell. No, because if somebody wants to come and do business here, he has to pay something to the king. In the past times I'm talking about, okay, something to the king. Suppose he is selling 100 bags of rice, he want to sell in India, he has to give 10 bags of rice to the king. This way the taxation system started, and this is something called as customs duty in today's times, like tax on import of goods, tax on export of goods, that we'll discuss later on. But this way it started. So when some trader of other country want to come and do business in India, he has to give something to the king. In the olden times, it was given in the form of bags or goods. In today's times, it is given in terms of money. That's the difference. Time changed, the pattern changed, but the concept remains same. Now, this indirect tax is called as business tax. This indirect tax is called as what? Business tax. So the person in Afghanistan wanted to sell 100 bags in India. It went on well. The king collected 10 bags. Out of 100 bags, 10 bags he collected. But later on, king realized that the country needs more and more money. And how will we get more and more money? Each businessman in the country should pay taxes. Now the businessman also understood the importance. India is a country where people live together with happiness, understand each other's concern. In Western countries, nobody cares for other. The parents don't care about children, children don't care about parents, forget about the society. So we have a wonderful culture in our India. So businessmen started giving some rice bags, whatever they were to produce in their farms, right? Whatever they were to manufacture. Later on, they started paying in the form of gold coins. So this way it continued. So indirect tax is primarily a business tax. Now I'll ask you, if suppose the trader from Afghanistan brings 100 bags into India. Suppose each bag costed him rupees 3. Each bag costed him how much? Rupees 3. Now he gives 10 bags to the king. When he gives 10 bags, how much he spent to do business in India? 10 bags into 3 rupees. So totally 30 rupees he spent only to sell bags in India, correct? Now, how many bags he is left with? 90 bags is left, correct? Now, these 90 bags are there. He has to sell in India. Will he sell at 3 rupees? Not at all. Why he will not sell at 3 rupees? Because he also has to earn profit, correct? And not only profit, but he paid some taxes to government. That 30 rupees, that also he has to recover by selling this 90 bags. So 30 rupees is the cost, divided by 90 bags is equal to 0.33 rupees cost for each bag. Okay. Now, how he will calculate his sale price? See, first bag costed him 3 rupees. Then he added the taxes 0.33. So what is the total cost? 3.33, right? The purchase price or whatever cost to him 3 rupees per bag plus taxes 0.33, which he apportioned, distributed to the 90 bucks, right? 30 divided by 90 we did, correct? Okay. Then it came to 3.33. He thought he will earn at least 0.67 paisa profit. So he added 0.67. Now 3.33 plus 0.67 is equal to 4 rupees. He sold the bags in India at rupees 4. Now my simple question to you. Now when we understand each and everything, we'll understand in question answer format. Then we will understand the concept clearly. So the question is, did the businessman pay the indirect tax pocket, or he shifted the burden to the consumer? Tell me. Yes, he shifted the burden to the consumer. And indirect tax is paid by whom? Paid to the government by the consumer. Sorry, by the businessman. And the burden is shifted to the consumer, and that's why it is indirect tax. The consumer is indirectly paying to the government. This way, the whole concept of indirect tax came into picture. And I'll tell you, you study GST, you study customs, or you study any other indirect tax, the concept is same. Now, direct tax you studied in the earlier lectures. We completed it. So you know what is direct tax. But indirect tax, let's understand the features and understand it in detail. Now, will each citizen pay indirect tax? The answer is no. Each citizen will not pay. Who will pay? The person who consumes the goods and services. The person who purchased the goods, the bags from the trader, he will only pay this indirect tax, correct? So that's why I am telling indirect tax is a tax on, first feature you see, indirect tax is a tax on goods and services. Sir, you said goods. In the example I explained about goods only. But services? Yes. Suppose you take a service, you pay for it or not? When you travel to go to Ramoji Film City to watch movie, service, you pay tax on services or not? You pay, right? When you enjoy in an amusement park, the ticket will have tax element, yes or no? So not only on goods but also on services we pay tax, and that's what indirect tax is. So indirect tax is basically a tax on consumption of goods and services. Now if you are idle, you are doing just meditation, you are not consuming any goods, not taking any service, no need to pay any indirect tax. But if you consume goods and services, you have to pay indirect tax. Okay, very good. Second point you see, with the story again you will connect. The businessman shifted the burden to the consumer. So in indirect tax what happens? Payment to government is done by the businessman, whereas the burden is shifted to the consumer. Okay, so that's why we wrote the siding as burden. So payment is done by the businessman, burden is shifted to the consumer. Third point, let's see. Third point says inflationary. Now, if you connect with the same example, 3 rupees was the cost. Profit was 0.67. If we add 3 plus 0.67, it should have been 3.67. Okay. But what it became? It became 4 rupees. How? Because taxes were added. How much is the tax? 0.33. So what happened? It increased the price of the goods. Taxes increased the price of the goods. Clear? Very good. 3 plus 0.33, that means it became 3.33, correct? It increased the price to 4 after adding the profit element. So this way taxes increase the price. It increased the cost to the business, and that cost is transferred to consumer. So when it increases the price, we call it as inflationary in nature. Because if prices of goods increase, the value of money decreases, correct? So it is inflationary in nature. Next thing. Fourth thing is, it's for social welfare. Now when on every good tax is collected, government knows how much goods are consumed. Like suppose on biscuit packets tax is collected, so government has the data that how many biscuit packets are consumed. Similarly, if suppose you think somebody consumes tobacco, alcohol, that also tax is collected. So government has a record that how much tobacco is consumed, how much alcohol is consumed. So when data is available, what government will do? Government want to encourage alcohol or discourage? Truly speaking, they should discourage. So for that what they do is they add more and more taxes to the sin goods, right? Sin goods means tobacco, alcohol are sin goods. They are not to be consumed by human beings. Absolutely no means no. Not even sweet supari. Okay. So anything on which it is written that it is hazardous for health, dangerous for health, consumption is not good, at least for your health, at least for taking care of your family, please be away with it. Whatever your friends say, whatever your relatives say that अरे मजा आता, nothing, मजा नहीं, कुछ नहीं, फालतूगिरी नहीं करना, right? So consuming alcohol, all such things is not at all right. So what government does is increases the tax on the sin products. This way government promotes social welfare through indirect tax. So how many points we did? First one, tax on goods and services. What is the second one? Burden. Third one, burden shifted from businessman to consumer. Third one, inflationary. It increases the price. 0.33 increased, correct? Fourth one, it is creating social welfare. Fifth one, you think wider tax base. Now, if somebody is doing small business, he may not pay any income tax to government. If somebody is dealing in cash, he may not pay any tax to the government, but he has to pay indirect tax, because once he earns income, he'll go to the shop to purchase something. When he tries to purchase something, on that GST is there, right? If he imports something, customs is there. So what happens? Everybody who is consuming the goods and services, whether it is a small kid or an old age person, whether it is individual or organization, everybody has to pay indirect tax. That's why the scope of indirect tax is very wide. You would have seen recent tax collections also. Every month GST collections are crossing 1,50,000 crores. What does that mean? That government is earning great money because huge chunk of population is covered and everybody pay indirect tax, because everybody has to survive, and for that they have to consume some goods or the other. Okay, wider tax base. Sixth one, regressive. Now if I go and purchase a mobile phone, Ambani goes and purchase same mobile phone. Now maybe the tax rate is same, the maybe the amount which we pay as tax is same, but for me it is big amount. For Mukesh Ambani maybe it is very cheap amount, correct? So what does this mean? For poor it is regressive. It does not differentiate between rich and poor, right? Indirect tax treats rich and poor equally, so that's why it is called regressive in nature. Now suppose on all the goods if indirect tax is levied, then what will happen? The poor has to pay that extra price. For him it is burden, right? That's why what government does is basic necessity type of goods are there, na? Like jawar, bajra, wheat, rice, right? Fruits, vegetables. On this there is no indirect tax. But still, if you purchase a mobile phone, if you are a poor person, you purchase a TV for your house, then indirect tax is there, yes or no? GST is there, yes or no? So when taxes are paid, it is regressive on the poor, considering their income levels are less. Okay. And last thing, when we pay income tax, na, we feel very bad. You suppose you are earning 12 lakhs rupees per annum salary. Okay, when you earn 12 lakhs rupees per annum salary, almost you will pay 1,50,000 rupees as tax, income tax. Okay, now when you have to pay from your pocket 1,50,000 to government, you will feel very bad. My 1.5 months efforts government is taking away, yes or no? So it pinch you, you will feel bad for it. Whereas indirect tax, you go to a shopping mall, you go to some shop to purchase something, you pay the price of the product, and in the price of the product itself, tax is included. So what happens? You are paying tax without knowing, and that's why you will not feel bad about it. So that's why indirect tax don't pinch the people. So are you clear? Very good. 7 features we discussed. Repeat with me. When you repeat with me, when you talk with me, then only you will understand. You have to concentrate totally. Chalo, 7 features. Patafat with me. Tax on goods and services. Second one, burden. Third one, inflation. Inflationary. Fourth one, social welfare. Fifth one, wider tax base. Sixth one, regressive. Seventh one, no pinch. 4 marks question may come. Features of indirect tax. Pat you said, and now you are able to remember. Correct? Now another question comes, what is the difference between direct and indirect tax? In the past exams they asked, of course only 1-2 times they asked, but they asked it, right? So we should be prepared for it. So direct indirect difference. Now direct tax is a tax on income, everybody know. Correct? You earn income from salary or do some business and earn some profit, you pay tax on your income. That's income tax. Okay. So what is direct tax? Income tax is direct tax. Right? Tax on income is direct tax. Whereas indirect tax is a tax on consumption of goods and services. So indirect tax is a tax on consumption of goods and services. Come on. Second difference, let's try to understand. Hey, sequence I'm not following. I'm telling, considering the features of indirect tax. So let's concentrate. Okay. First thing, we understood that direct tax is a tax on income. Indirect tax is a tax on consumption of goods and services. Income tax, will it increase the inflation? Will it increase the price of the products? So direct tax will not. So direct tax is not inflationary in nature. Whereas indirect tax creates inflation. It is inflationary in nature. Okay, very good. Direct tax, you earn income, on that you only pay tax to government. So burden is on you and payment also you only do to the government. So direct tax, the payment, the burden is on the same person. Whereas indirect tax example, the trader pays tax to the government. Trader includes wholesaler, retailer, manufacturer, everybody. Okay. These people pay tax to the government, but the burden is shifted to the consumer. So payment is done by one and burden shifted to another. And one more thing, incidence is on the businessman, impact is on the customer. This is what we talk about indirect tax. Now, there is another thing which you should understand. Direct tax is progressive in nature. Suppose example, somebody earns income up to 5 lakhs rupees, right? In the new regime, up to 7 lakhs rupees also, no tax at all. So if your income is less, no direct tax. But if your income slightly increases above that limit, then you pay nominal amount of 10% tax or 20% tax. If your income increases much more, then you may have to pay even 40% tax. So what did you understand? As your income increases, so your taxes increase. This is what direct tax. So we can say it is progressive taxation. So as you progress, so government also progress. As you earn money, you have to pay a part of it to the government, right? And that's what progressive taxation. Direct tax, income tax is progressive tax. Whereas indirect tax is regressive in nature. Regressive means poor will feel more burden ultimately because he has to pay additional price. Okay, very good. Now direct tax example, income tax only today, and indirect tax, GST is there, good and simple tax, nahi, goods and services tax. Then customs duty on import of goods into India. Some state governments levy tax on alcoholic liquor for human consumption. that is excise duty on alcoholic liquor for human consumption. Many states survive only because of it. In that Telangana is also there, right? One more thing, on petroleum products, VAT is there, value added tax. So these are all indirect taxes which we have to discuss. So examples I give. Now you all understood what is indirect tax in detail. You also understood the difference between direct and indirect taxes. Now let me tell you that what is the constitutional validity of taxes. Can tomorrow Modi ji gets some and says कल सुबह से ग्रीन टैक्स आप पे लगेगा, भाइयों और बहनों, कल से ग्रीन टैक्स? Can any CM get up and say from tomorrow we will levy fat tax, मोटे लोगों के ऊपर टैक्स और शुगर प्रोडक्ट्स के ऊपर टैक्स? Can governments do so casually? Can any position holder like CM PM can declare any tax like that? The answer is absolutely no. To levy any tax, constitution should permit, and that's why you read article 265. It says that no tax can be levied except with the authority of law. So if you have legal authority, constitutional power to levy tax, then only you can levy the tax. For that, proper law should be made. And in the direct tax lectures, we discussed it, right? How laws are made in India? Roughly, I'll repeat for you. Don't worry. First, what happens? Government says that we have to bring some law. Suppose let's assume they want to bring GST. So what they will do? They will tell to Ministry of Laws and Justice, Ministry of Laws and Justice, to draft the GST law. Check how the law is in Canada, America, UK. They will study everything. They will understand Indian environment, Indian businesses, and then they will prepare a law. So who prepares the law? Ministry of Laws and Justice. When they prepared the law, we call it as simply a draft. They present it in the parliament. When they present it in the parliament, we call it as bill. Then Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha both approve, right? And when both of them approve, it goes to the president for signature. President will sign, and finally it is published in e-gazette website. Where it is published? In the e-gazette website. And that's how the laws are passed in India. So when Lok Sabha pass, who are the people in Lok Sabha? People's representatives, yes or no? They contest elections, people vote them, and then they get the seat, right? So that means they represent the people. They talk what is good in the interest of the people, good in the interest of the nation. They discuss, they challenge, they fight. Finally, whatever is right, they will try to do in our parliament, in our state legislatures also. Okay. So Lok Sabha will approve, Rajya Sabha will approve, president will sign. So there is a process of making the law. Correct? This way you should understand each and everything. Now, so what Article 265 said? No tax can be levied except with the authority of law. And how the laws are made? Just now I revised for you. Now I am just revising this because already in direct tax lectures we discussed it in detail. So now again repeating everything would be too much, right? Okay. Now come to the next part. The next part is Article 246. Article 246 says that we will read Schedule 7 also with it. It says that powers of central government are different, powers of state government are different, and some areas are there where both can make the laws. Now why this type of structure is made? You understand that our country, Bharat, is basically a federal structure. Federal structure means, do you know what is federal structure? Federal structure means dual government. Dual government means there is a central government, there is a state government. Now, when two people are there, and if you don't have clear terms and conditions, what will happen? They will fight with each other, yes or no? So that's why in the constitution itself, Article 245 gave the power to the parliament, to the state legislature to make the laws. And Article 246 says that this is the list 1 in on which central government can make the law. This is list 2 on which state government can make the law, and this is list 3 on which both can make the laws. Again repeat with me. Article 246 read with schedule 7. Now what they say, list 1 items are covered where central government can make the law. List 2 items are covered where state government can make the law. List 3 items are covered where both can make the laws. Now list 1 let's discuss, and I am restricting it to only taxes because many other areas are there. As of now if I try to discuss, then it will become a constitution class. हम tax के class में है, right? So let's continue. So what I wanted to tell you, that entry number 82. Entry number 82 of the list 1 says that central government, union list we call it as, okay, union list, list 1, entry number 82. Central government has the power to levy tax on income. So you are an individual or you may be an organization. You earn income, you have to pay tax to the central government. But there is a small exception here, you check. Other than agricultural income. So can central government levy tax on agricultural income? The answer is absolutely no. Central government can levy tax on any income. All income central government can tax. But agricultural income? No. On agricultural income, central government cannot levy tax. But then, sir, who can levy the tax on agricultural income? See state list, list 2, article 46. State list, list 2, article 46. Here they clearly say state government has the power to levy tax on agricultural income. So on the agricultural income, state governments collect the tax. Now do you feel that any state government in India collects tax on agricultural income? The answer is absolutely no. There may be many political reasons behind it. Vote bank is also there. And basically the farmlands are very small in India. So they earn very less income. Their income is also uncertain. When they will earn, when they don't, we cannot say. So that's why till date, the state government did not levy any taxes on agricultural income. So we discussed two entries. What are they? Entry number 82, list 1, union list. Central government has the power to levy tax on any income other than agricultural income, because on agricultural income, state government under list 2 can levy tax under entry number 46. Come to entry number 83. 83 says that customs duty, that means on the import, like we discussed Afghanistan example, right? On the import of goods, on the export of goods, tax is levied. We call it as customs duty, and entry 83 gives the power to central government to levy tax on import and export. Third thing, entry number 84. Now there are tobacco products, right? There are lot of tobacco products. It is very bad for individual to consume any form of tobacco. Any form means any form, including the crane, sweetie, whatever you call. Okay, I know many people, they were using tobacco products. We said no, 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 no. And after all teeths were destroyed, after spending 2,50,000 rupees, new dummy teeths were uh, inserted or kept in the mouth, then they stopped. And many people even don't get that chance also. They face mouth cancer and die. So I don't feel that this is a good practice, and nobody should engage in any tobacco or alcohol. Come, we are discussing entry number 84. It says central government has the power to levy excise duty. Which duty? Excise duty. Right? Which duty, Baba? Excise duty on the manufacture or production of tobacco. So on the manufacture or production of tobacco, central government can levy tax. But then I'll ask you, which tax? Entry number 84 says excise duty. On which product? Tobacco products. Who can levy? Central government. Under which list? Union list. Which list number? List 1. Clear? Very good. Now, but there is item called as alcoholic liquor for human consumption. Opium, Indian hemp, narcotic drugs and narcotic products. Totally 5 things I said, correct? 5. एक बार फिर बोलो, right? Alcoholic liquor for human consumption. Second one, opium. अरे मेरे साथ बोलो रे बाबा, then only you will remember. ठीक है, बहुत बढ़िया, very good. Indian hemp. Fourth one, narcotic drugs. Fifth one, narcotics. These 5 items, central government cannot levy the tax under entry number 84. Then tell me, who can levy the tax? Obviously, state government. Which entry number? Entry number 51. Entry number what? 51. So state government get the power to levy tax on these 5 products. Again repeat, state government can levy tax on these 5 products. Under which entry? 51 of state list, list 2. Okay. First one, alcoholic liquor for human consumption, opium, Indian hemp, narcotic drugs, narcotics. Okay. But if suppose any of these 5 products are used for medicinal and toilet preparation, that means for good, not for bad. Every product has something called as good and something called as bad, right? So if it is for good, if it is for medicinal and toilet preparations, then central government can have the power to levy tax. So on tobacco products, central government can levy tax as per entry number 84, and this alcoholic products, drugs, opium, also central government can levy tax, but only if it is used for medicinal and toilet preparations. Done? Clear? That's it. State government can levy tax under entry number 51 if it is used for human consumption. Alcoholic liquor for human consumption, opium, narcotic drugs, narcotics, Indian hemp, okay, intoxicant type of products, state government can levy tax. If it is medicinal use, central government can levy tax under 84, entry number 84. Let me explain the last entry in the state list. Okay, wait, entry number 60 I'll discuss, then I'll come to 97. Okay, come, let's focus on 60. If you do job in a particular state, you do employment in a particular state, then you have to pay employment tax to the state government. Now you need not pay from your pocket. When your employer gives you salary, he'll deduct that 200 rupees employment tax and employer will pay on your behalf. Okay. So this way you will be paying employment tax. And which entry? Entry number 60. Clear to all of you? Yes or no? Very good. Now let me continue with the discussion. The discussion says that with this we completed entry number 60, also 97 is left. Now if in the whole list 1, list 2, list 3, if you see, if an item is not mentioned in any list, on that who can levy tax? You should get this question correct, and that's where 97 comes into picture. List 1, union list, entry number 97. List 1, union list, entry number 97. What it says, if any of the lists, in any of the lists, if the items are not mentioned, then central government reserves the power to levy tax on it. Okay, very good. Now list 1 you understood, list 2 you understood, list 3 what are there? Forest is there and education is there. That's why you see education in Hyderabad, there is Usmania University, which is state owned university, and in Hyderabad Hyderabad Central University is there, which is owned by central government. So on educational matters both can make the law. Another thing, forest is also there, central and state both can make the laws. But if suppose if both can make the law, whose law is supreme? Answer should be found, right? And that's why constitution itself gives the answer. Article 254 says that if there is a conflict between central and state laws, central's law will prevail. Which law will prevail? Central government's law will prevail. Whose law will prevail? Central government's law will prevail. Okay, so center will be super powerful, dominating, state will be subordinate to it, नीचे दबा हुआ, ठीक है, in case of conflict between both of them. Clear to all of you? Very good. Now you understood all about the constitutional provisions also. Now you understood what is the power to levy tax, completely clear. Nature of indirect tax, completely clear. But why, when there were indirect taxes like excise duty was there, VAT was there, service tax was there, central sales tax was there, so many taxes were there, why government decided in and brought GST in 2017? What was the logic behind? What type of problems we faced in the past with all the old laws, and how GST is supreme, powerful, that we have to understand, correct? And that I will be discussing in the next lecture with you. With proper numericals we'll try to understand, so that you from deep inside we should understand the fundamental concepts. It's not just reading what is there on the notes and explaining the literal meaning of it. Logic, concepts, everything we are going to understand. Only thing, you have to stay connect, focus, sit with patience, and you will enjoy. And we'll solve all the CMA study material problems, all the past exam questions of CMA, so that you really become confident with CMA by solving these problems. If suppose tomorrow this same question comes in your exam, you'll be quickly solving because you solved it. But if you practice some other problems and come to these problems in exam, you may take some more time, right? So that's why you will get lot of value from our lectures, and stay connected. Okay, chal, we'll meet in next lecture. Take care.